What made you guys want to join the theater community?
For me, it was a way of communicating that was not preaching. It was a way of keying into the engrams of a culture, the African American culture, the black culture back then, and speaking to issues by experiencing them firsthand. The audience being able to see somebody live through these situations. For me, I said that's the perfect method of communication. A lot of times people are learning without even knowing they have learned something. That's the beauty of theater.
Yeah, it was a very effective way of communicating. That was the reason I joined the theater and wanted to be a part of it, is because I was looking at how people were reacting and actually listening to what you were saying and what you were doing, and how they would take those particular communications and actually implement them in their own lives. It had the power to change people and move people in different directions. I've seen people who started with a simple, oh, I'm going to see a play, and from that moment they've not only gone on to be hooked on seeing plays, but they wanted to participate in plays, or they wanted to create their own plays. And those kinds of activities were stimulated by their first experience of coming to see something in the theater. Sometimes, if it was around a social issue, people would pick up the consciousness of a social issue and say, hey, I need to, really look at how this is impacting my community. And so it was really just such an effective way of communicating to a large group of people in a very impactful way.
And seeing the difference too, it's like we grew up in an age where a lot of the television shows, movies, things that we saw, the heroic figures did not look like us. The beautiful thing about even seeing Jimmy perform in The Hobbit, he was a hero. The character was a hero. Here was a black man who was a hero in the story, and that was moving in itself, because then we weren't just the sidebar character. We were the leads. We were the actual characters that made a difference. And the beauty of that is I immediately wanted younger people to see that as an example. That we can be anything. We could be the hero. We could be the scientist. We could be the one that saves the world. So that was the beauty of that.
The other side of that is we have a lot of stories to tell. We have a strong oral tradition as it is, and a lot of the things that are transposed or transcend time for us and our communities or our ancestry are told through oral traditions or stories. And these were stories that were not in a book, they were living stories. And that was the one thing that was really cool about being involved in a theater piece, is that it was a living story that was taking place and coming alive. So you had that process of giving it birth and giving it life and air and all those other things that make it come to fruition, so that when everyone's stepping out there to see it, they're not seeing something that's plasticine or separate from themselves. It's very much, it's who they are.